There's no. Do you want to stand back here? Can I? Yeah. Juno. Do you want to put that up a little bit? Or yeah, that's it. Okay. So good morning. For those who don't know me, my name is John Baverstock. I'm a company called Studio 18. Today I'm going to talk to you about websites and actually the perfect website design. So how do we do a perfect website design? What is it? So actually, there's just two key things to consider. So the first one I'm going to talk about is, you may have heard an expression that's massive in website design at the moment, is user experience or UX. And that is essentially how your user engages with your website and navigates through it and digests the information. So I went to a talk a little while back by a guy called Joe Leach, and he is a psychologist. He studied psychology and has found his way into website design. And he works with big companies on how to get them best out of their user experience on their websites. And it's all about using the brain and that connection we all make when we engage with things, and how we can apply those skills to websites. So he works with massive companies like Saga and eBay, all those kind of things, on their user experience to maximise their user engagement. So things, how can we kind of match those things to our websites? So he started off with a question which I'm going to ask you, and it's what do the Brits, Japanese, and I think Nigerian people all have in common when they go on a holiday to Argentina? And we're all looking at him thinking, what has this got to do with websites? Like you're looking at me now. No. That could be true, yeah. That is very true. But possibly true, yeah. So whenever we go to get money out, we leave our card in the machine. So there's a massive percentage of people that leave their cards in ATM machines when they try to get money out in Argentina. And the reason is because here, think about the process we go through when we get cash out. So you put a card in, put a pin in, we select the service we want, so it's cash. We select how much cash we want, it gives us our card, and then it gives us our cash, and then we go. Crucially, in Argentina, when you get money out, the last two steps are reversed. So it gives us our cash, and we think, oh, we can go. And then it comes out of our card. So that's the reason. So yeah. Also a top tip. Jill, put it on your blog. So the kind of the moral of the story is that we all have these mental models we go through when we do decisions all the time. So if people are using a product or a service from you a lot, then they will have, like for example, when Ken goes to Jill on a weekly basis and says, I want to go on a holiday, because he uses Jill so much, he knows what he has to do. He knows the process inside out, and it's natural and that's instinct. So, but you've given him all your cash. So it's mashing those mental models we go through. So you need to think like your customer. So if your customers buy from you, especially on your website a lot, how can you maximize the opportunity that they're going through each time they use your website? Understand your customer, think like your customer, and match those mental models, and just make it really simple for them to be able to go onto your site or use your products and use your service. So that's the kind of the first key point. The second key point, actually no, I'm going to talk about user experience a little bit more actually. So yeah, user experience. I've talked about this a few times before. There's loads of things that you should do. The unwritten rules, you don't have to do them, but logo top left. If you're going to have navigation, have it on the top right, or search bar top right, and then a big hero image of whatever one key action, and then you can signpost people underneath on your homepage. But for following pages on, you just have one clear message and one clear action. So there's all these kind of, and it's just basically keeping it very simple for people to be able to go on, digest information, and then find out more, or make a call to action. It could be to get in touch, or read a blog post, or sign up to a newsletter, or whatever it may be. So that's kind of one. It's kind of matching mental models. That's the key thing. That's the first key thing. The second key thing is to evoke emotion. So humans buy an emotion all the time. Trying to think of an example. A key example for me was watching Searching for Sugar Man. Has anyone seen Searching for Sugar Man? Okay, I've seen it and it's brilliant. It's about a guy, singer-songwriter guy. I was so involved in that immediately after the film finished, I went and bought both his albums. So I felt an emotional connection to that guy. And we buy an emotion all the time. So how can we so let's talk about Jill again, because we all love about going on holidays and we all love Jill. So, you know, what should Jill be saying on the homepage of a website? 4 or 5 years ago, or even longer, people would have put as much information onto that homepage straight away. You know, she's got great customer service. She's worked with endless corporate clients in her career. She's asshole protected. You know, all these kind of things. That is not the place to put all this information at the moment when we land on Jill's homepage. So let's, for example, say we've done a Google search, travel consultants, Reading. No, let's go bigger. Let's go UK. Travel consultants UK. Jill comes up number 1 because she's number 1. So we land on her homepage. We've then got a number of seconds to engage that user and then want them to find out more about Jill. So what do? We have an image or a series of images that are going to put people in that position. We want to be on that beach with that margarita, or you know, we want to be trekking those mountains in the Himalayas, or you know, wouldn't it be great to have a video of just all these great places around the world that we can imagine ourselves being. It's almost like the kind of Simon Sinek thing that Cedar talks about, where we talk about the inside out. So we're not talking about what we're doing or how we get there. We're selling the solution, we're selling the dream, and that's when we kind of then have a learn more, and that's when you talk about got great customer service, we're asset protected, and you know we can do all these other things for you. So it's about evoking emotion. So as long as you can do that on your homepage and grab someone's attention, engage them, then you know you'll inevitably have them navigate through your site and get in contact and stuff. So it's very simple. There's 2 key things really. So imagine thinking like a customer. Too many people make the mistake of designing a website for themselves. It's not for you, it's for your customer. Understand your customer, match those mental models that they go through, put them on your website, and think about the process that they go for, the user journey. Sorry, I hate that word. Second one is to evoke emotion. We're very visual creatures. Websites are so visual now. We've got use of, Gareth's talking about his new iMac. He's got perfect screen. Imagine Gareth going on to, once a holiday, goes on, sees a massive video in 4K, checking through the Himalayas, because that's what he wants to do. It might not be what you want to do, but if you did, you think, wow, I want to do that. Yeah. So those two key things really. That's what we're speaking to about our clients at the moment, and they're only going to get more applicable really to people and their websites, because websites are very important. So I don't know how I'm doing for time. 3 minutes to go. I'll rattle through that a lot quicker than I thought. I'll give you an update what we're doing really. So at the moment we're working with lots of people within the university. As it happens, sometimes in websites you get business because of other rubbish websites, and that has been the case with the university. So we're working with lots of institutions within the university to give them freedom back to their websites, and also helping them with other bits and bobs as well. But essentially, we're providing a solution that they can go on, they can manage, because there's lots of people within these organisations that have access to and have relevant content they want to be able to put onto their website and make accessible to the public. And so it's how best do we kind of make it easy for them to go on, administer the site, regulate content. There's also member logins and stuff. So we've got about 4 or 5 of these sites on the moment. So it's big projects. It's taken a lot of our time. So that's really great. Going forward, I'd really love to get into apps. I've lucky enough to do an app for Vodafone, an internal app for Vodafone last summer, which was really great fun, and I'd love to do more of it. So yeah, I'd really love to start designing apps, and anything else interesting really, anything else fun, creative, anything that's a bit of a challenge. I'd love to speak to anybody with a challenge really. Thank you. Cheers. Thanks.
I've got some time set aside for some Q&As with John. If anyone's got any questions to start off with.
I'm being filmed for the RBC blog. Yeah. Don't worry, your documentary is safe.
Sorry, folks. Sorry. When it comes to content, how much content bombard them with information, or what sort of level of content?
So I think the level is a good thing because I think it depends on what level they're at the website. So homepage is minimal content, one call to action, so a learn more button, for example. That's when you can talk about more stuff. So if you're talking about a regular kind of services page, I personally think about 200 words is about enough content, because if there's any more, I think if you're wondering if there's too much, ask yourself, would you read this? It's just easy, you know. Would you have the time to read this? If your answer says no, you've written too much. I think 200 words is about right, personally. But then if you're talking about a blog post, then you can go into more detail. So it could be that you speak about a services page and then you relate them to a blog post, a relevant blog post, or you have, say, 3 relevant blog posts that they might be interested in. You can go and click and find more information. So I think it's at what level they're at within your site to corresponds to how much content you do. But I think in essence, you know, just have on each page have one clear message and one clear action. I think that's the best tip I can give for that. Well, good question. Daily, yeah. No, well, actually, I recently regurgitated a blog post a little while back called "A Good Website's Never Finished," and the reason is because I saw a quote from a guy called Neville Brody, who, if you're a designer, you'll know who Neville Brody is. He's an absolute legend in the graphic design world. And his quote is, "Web design is like painting, except the paint never dries." So you always need to update your content. I think, you know, a good website is never finished because you can always add to it, you can always evolve it. And you know, one thing you don't want to get into a kind of bad cycle is every 3 or 4 years think, oh, I haven't updated this, now it's really out of date, now I've got to spend another X amount on, you know, doing it all again. So you want to kind of make sure that you're updating it, constantly tweaking it, making it fresh and up to date and relevant, and also up to date with technology, because technology is moving really, really fast now. You know, if you've got websites 2 years old, you may be thinking, wow, this could be looking a little bit, you know, we need to update this. This kind of, yeah, looking a bit dated. But I think in terms of blogging, I would say once a month or twice a month is adequate, depending on what you're doing, really.
Google as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Google loves fresh content. Yeah. So Vodafone have like they encourage their not customers, their employees to be kind of innovative, and they really they think that's a really good thing to have. So they encourage them to produce or file patents within the industry. So they had this in one of their HQs in Newbury. They had like a whole wall of Chris, what are those things where you print on the glass, the perspex? Yeah, yeah. So they had all them in a massive thing. So every time someone filed a new patent, it became quite costly to print it, and it became like a massive thing. And that was the only place it was. So they wanted to make it into digital format and put it in all around their HQs all around the world, and have an internal app so their employees could download this app and then file and search for patents, and you know, they all kind of have a little bit of credibility and within their employees. If you filed one, you could say, oh, look, I'm on this app and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's what it was. It was kind of turning that into digital format. Yeah.
The other thing is that the UK seems to be subsidized everywhere else when it comes to things, especially the US.
Yeah.
think that understanding of client, I was just trying to understand American companies so in themselves and want to tell you about themselves. We're kind of always ahead of the trend by understanding what the user wants.
Mm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I forget which website I went on the other day. It's a massive company and it's not even responsive. And it's just like, mm, yeah, yeah, yeah.
My, I find enterprise their website is awful and it's horrendous to move around search them. They've got a very modern, dynamic website. Bear in mind, it's a massive American company. The whole of the European market probably sits in Los Angeles, and that's how big America is. A massive Los Angeles, and the whole new website drive is led from the UK. Any other questions? John, thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.